You can find more information about us and our business on LinkedIn, or if you have any questions, email us at info@wickedbionic.com. Subscribe to Wicked Marketing on Apple Podcasts and write an awesome review for us. We're also on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Google Play. Thanks for listening. Hi, I'm Dana.
And I'm Carlos. Welcome to the future.
Oh, we're talking about something cool today. I hope you guys get excited about it because we are excited about it.
I know. Yeah. And the reason why I say welcome to the future is because people see this a lot as the future, the topics that we're going to cover today.
You kind of can't escape hearing about this out in the world if you're reading. And
yeah, because it's actually the now.
Right.
You already should be.
So what is the
working?
What is the thing?
The it that we're talking about today is artificial intelligence and machine learning.
Okay, so don't be afraid because I don't really want to hear about machine learning, but I know Carlos can't talk about one without the other. So we're going to talk about and give some examples.
Well, the idea is that we want to humanize the terms,
right?
And Dana's good at humanizing them. I'm horrible at humanizing things. So
I'll stick with you humans on this side.
She'll stick over on the human side, and I'll stick with the aliens over here on the other side. Let's start with artificial intelligence, right? It sounds like a Will Smith movie.
Yeah.
Right? With the
Probably
iRobots attacking you. Let's break down artificial intelligence. So what is intelligence?
Me?
You? So intelligence is at the very lower level, right? At the very basic level is the ability to decide, right? It's not a linear process. It's an optional process. Option A, option B, right? Mm-hmm. Now, when you think about human intelligence, we can be presented with thousands of options daily, and we choose what path we're going based on our decisions, right?
Right.
And the other portion of intelligence is the ability to learn from that intelligence, which is funny. I heard that the only animal that will continually make the same mistake over and over and over and over again is the human being.
Oh, that was a trick question.
It's totally a trick question. Whereas the what we consider as the lesser intelligence species, right, which are the animals in nature, are smart enough not to make the same mistake over and over and over and over and over.
Right?
Again.
I have to think about that. That's true.
Yeah. So when you then start thinking about, okay, it's about decision making at the very basic level, right? Decision making, and then the ability to learn from those decisions, you get what artificial intelligence is and machine learning. Artificial intelligence is, in the very basic level, the ability to artificially manage options, right? So there's all these options. I can choose on these options, right?
The artificial piece is it chooses a stake.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the advantages of artificial intelligence is that whereas we're unplugged wireless beings and are just running around the world relying on our brain and what we've learned and what we've seen and what our experiences are, artificial intelligence is connected, right? And when you think about the breadth of the internet, how much information is available to it on the internet and off the internet, right? The farms of servers that Google has and Amazon has.
I got to post some pictures of those farms because that's insane.
Christ. Did you know? I'm just going to go off on a tangent.
Did you say Jesus Christ?
Yes.
Well, you never say that. I'm sorry.
know.
He's sorry.
Sorry.
He's a good Catholic boy.
I'm a
Go
good
ahead.
Catholic boy. I should never use the Lord's name.
It's okay.
Anyhow, I wanted to go off on a tangent for a second. Did
About the
you
farms.
know that Google is, at some points in the year, depending on the time of the year, the largest producer or creator of servers in the world, and they don't sell one server
Because they need them all.
because that's where they store all the information
that we all put into our
that
little search bar.
Yes.
I would love to know how many that is. Wouldn't that? But they're all around the world. You could never even know how
Number
many there are.
one, I believe, most visited site in the world is Google. Because everyone's just searching on it
I just
all
got
the
a
time.
visual when you said that about Google, because I was thinking about, think about it, you guys. You type this thing in, and you are annoyed, first of all, if it takes more than a nanosecond for those results to come in. But something is gathering information from around the world and telling you an answer to your question or your need.
Around the world and through time.
It's
Through
really
time, because it's not around the world today. It's everything that has been published
right.
in
Not
the world
just now. You're right.
since the beginning of time, or since the beginning of recorded history, right? Because even that has now been uploaded to the internet,
That's
or
right.
large swaths of that have been uploaded to the internet. You could get a response from Google that's something Plato wrote. So that's
know,
been
it-
uploaded to the internet.
It
right?
does make me think about that. I know we're going off on this, but I think it's so interesting. Is that it almost feels like, back to intelligence, like we were a little dumber when I was growing up, and I didn't have any of those
Access to
tools
that information.
or any. I had the Encyclopedia Britannica on the shelf that I won on the Art Linkletter show, and then I had school, and I had my parents, and I had my friends, but I didn't have any. And then the TV, right? But I didn't have any other access. I mean, really think about it. Like we become more intelligent because there's more information we're able to gather.
Well, so I'm about to bring it
I was
back.
leading you in, and I didn't even know it.
Yeah, I'm
Go
about
ahead,
to bring
honey.
it back to the topic, right?
ahead, dear.
So now think about this. The results that come back in that search. Do you think everybody gets the same result for the same question you're asking?
Hell no, because they're listening to me all the time.
No, because artificial intelligence will decide what results you see based on what you've searched for in the past, what websites you've gone to, what things you've been doing online, probably what things you've been saying in your car, because these phones,
I
everybody
told you,
knows
it's
they're
ridiculous.
listening. But that is artificial intelligence. So it's not only the ability to respond from options, it's the ability to intelligently respond from those options, not based on what the search engine, not only based on what the search engine thinks is best for you, but based on what you've done. So it's an intelligence that takes your intelligence into consideration as it makes decisions.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Right? So then the other piece of it is machine learning, right? And that goes hand in hand with artificial intelligence, because in order for that artificial intelligence to be able to know what to show you, it has to have learned from what you do.
That's right.
It has to have learned from your interactions. It has to have learned a portion of it, right? It has to have learned from the interactions of the people in your area. So if you're in Los Angeles, what other people in Los Angeles are doing, what other people within 5 blocks from your
Well,
house
it says, what are
doing.
your friends doing? Oh, here's where your friends are going this weekend, you know,
Right.
in some way. But
'Cause it's
machine
like-
learning comes before the artificial intelligence can kick in.
Machine learning helps artificial intelligence. It's one of the things that it does, but that's how it relates to artificial intelligence.
Got it.
It's the learning portion of artificial intelligence, right? Artificial intelligence leverages what the machines have learned,
Good way to put it.
which is so Terminator when you say it that
Hey,
way.
you know, Linda Hamilton's coming out with the new version next week. I can't wait.
So when you think about it that way, right? If you're searching on Google for Taco Bell, the Taco Bell that's nearest to you is the one that comes up.
Funny.
Funny, right? That has to do with artificial intelligence, but also with location services, which
Yeah.
is another thing. But even if you don't allow Google to know your location, they will still show you the ones that are
If you
in
put
Los
near
Angeles.
me, Taco Bell near me, it will.
Artificial intelligence will know that the IP address of your computer is in Los Angeles, and they will still show you Los Angeles.
That's right. That's
So
right.
that is really, at the very basic level, an easier way to explain to you guys in a relatable way what artificial intelligence is all about.
Let me ask you, Carlos, how do you see artificial intelligence, not in its, 20 years down the road, because it'll be something else after that. How do you see that the next kind of iteration that's going to be useful to the consumer?
Well, from our perspective and the marketing space in particular, there are so many decisions that we have to make in order to test different things in marketing for our clients, right? We have to know a lot of research. We have to create multivariate testing, which I keep on bringing up, multivariate
I just
testing.
hate it because you can't say it and it's annoying. No, you're not annoying.
No,
It's
I'm
annoying.
Latino. I'm Latino. But so think about it this way, right? If we're spending, let's say 40 man hours a month, right, with our staff looking at research,
That's
making
probably
decisions of where ads are going to be placed, looking at performance, how ads have performed, who's clicking on what. Now, think about I come and offer you, we're going to do that with artificial intelligence, right? But right now, you're doing, let's say, 100 variations of the same ad to test it. I'm going to do 1,000. And we're going to make all of the decisions for you, and it's going to take us 15 minutes of work.
Wouldn't that be really good ROI?
And you think about the ROI, you think about all the hours that it frees up for our team
For sure.
to make those decisions. It also becomes very scary because the more effective that becomes, the less useful an agency would become in those cases. But there are limits to artificial intelligence, right? So there are limits between what a machine can learn and human instinct. So machines have not reached...
You can't tell my heart. You can't touch my heart.
Machines have not reached the level of instinct.
Right.
And that's really what's going to separate us from them, at least for the foreseeable future, right? It's that ability to know your heart and know what you really... Because that's where a lot of innovation happens, on people listening to their instinct.
It's the emotion. I mean, that's why we do marketing, right? It's the emotion that gets elicited from
Will
people.
it make a lot of things better?
And efficient? Yeah.
When you think about it, your home with Nest, because Nest is an artificial intelligence.
I can tell you that Nest, when the AC guy put that in, it is, I'm driving home in the middle of summer and I know it's 80 in the house and I hit that button when I'm in my car on my phone and I turn on that Nest. It knows exactly what temperature. It is the sexiest.
But you don't actually have to.
What? Oh, yes, I can tell
Nest can know.
Yes, it can know by my
It can know by artificial
habits,
intelligence based on your habits and machine learning.
and it will turn itself on.
And it will turn itself on. So whereas we would spend, let's talk about the efficiencies of it, right? Whereas you would spend, let's say, $100, $200 on an electric bill during summer, because God knows those spikes cost us up the...
Especially in Los Angeles.
Yang, especially in Los Angeles, especially for people that cannot put a Nest in their place because it's either old or whatever reasons, right? Think about when we're talking about climate change and issues with the usage of electricity and the footprint and the carbon footprint. Just by having the ability to have artificial intelligence control the air conditioning in your home so that it only turns on 10 minutes before you got home. And it blasts that air for those 10 minutes, and then it drops down to the normal, right? Instead of it running all day.
To keep the whole house cool by the time I get home. Right. I remember those days.
Or
Wasteful.
that when you walk into your bedroom, the air turns off in the rest of your house on its own, and it only is coming into your bedroom and keeping you cool.
You're singing my song, mister.
Yeah. Like, I have dogs, right? So I leave the air running for the dogs during the summer because I don't want my dog to be uncomfortable. And it's running whether he's in the living room, in the bedroom, wherever he wants to walk around, right?
And I just want to say, we understand that is a high-quality thing. High-quality problem to be able to solve for, because I used to do the same thing when I had my boys, right? To be able to run air and have air to keep your dog cool. We totally get that that's a high-quality thing.
It's a high quality thing, but it's
important to
just
know the difference, right?
Story,
the difference
right?
between what you're talking about.
Where with artificial intelligence and machine learning, things are not only changing now, but they're going to continue to change. Everything is going to continue to change.
That's right.
So we'll be able to say things like Toyota, right? We'll be able to say, looking at the data of their entire regional sales platform, they'll be able to say, okay, we're going to sell 15% less vehicles in this area during the month of October. Let's reduce the production at the factory for that particular model of car by 15% for during this period of time.
Right, because they've looked at the data from the year before. Right. And
now think about that
it.
at scale.
Right. Sure.
Think about that at scale. And they could look at that data on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, because it's a machine that's doing
right.
it.
I'm sure they have plenty of departments that are looking at that data.
Yeah,
to make
right
those
now
decisions.
there are departments. In the future, they're not going to be.
I know.
In the future, they're not going to be.
Well, I won't have to have, as you said before, not that many man hours like we have now.
Yeah. So the idea there is that artificial intelligence may sound scary, may sound useful. It has a lot of benefits. It also has a lot of triggers for worry about where the future is going. But in the immediate future, in the immediate use of it, it can really help optimize, lower the amount of man hours that we're spending on certain things, increase profit margins for people. And what it will do is it will democratize the ability to utilize information to the masses. So the big corporations that control right now all of that information, eventually over time, as artificial intelligence and machine learning continue to grow and become services that are available to everyday people, instead of replacing us, right, or allowing those companies to be the only ones maximizing their profit margins, it will open up the floodgates for really creative people that may not have the resources to do it, to be able to then create competitive, dedicated, research-based businesses that are at the local level.
Right.
That will allow them to generate profits that are far beyond what people can create nowadays.
It's always, it's to the good and to the bad things as we grow, but then it always ends up, there's those people that figure out exactly how to monetize or how to make something better in the world, that using a tool like AI to make things better for people, because there's always the people out there that are incredible, humanitarians that really feel like if I change this or I use this new thing that's come out and I capitalize on it, I can change the world. And that's one of the beautiful things about technology, right?
And that's where we'll wrap it up for today.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Thanks for
More
listening.
on AI. I'm sure you'll start seeing it now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't forget to subscribe to and share Wicked Marketing on Apple Podcasts and write an awesome review for us. We are also on iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Google Play. See you next time.